Hey everybody, and welcome to another deep dive. Today we're cracking open Jack Canfield's The Success Principles.
Oh, yeah, this one's a classic.
It is. And look, we're not just going to give you a book report or anything. We
Nowhere.
want to pull out those nuggets, those
Yeah.
really actionable things that you can use right away to make some changes in your life.
Absolutely.
And trust me, there's some wild stuff in here.
Oh, yeah.
Like, people manifesting their dream homes,
Mm-hmm.
crushing self-doubt, and building empires from scratch. So,
It's about taking control,
Right.
right? I mean, that's what I really took away from it. It's not some magic formula. It's about making consistent choices.
yeah. Okay, so let's dive right in. One of the biggest things I think that Canfield talks about, and one that's I think, really resonated with me was this idea of taking 100% responsibility for your life.
Yeah, that's a big one.
I know it sounds a little scary at first,
It does.
but stick with us on this one.
Okay, so he has this formula. It's called E plus R equals O. Have you heard of this?
I have, yeah.
Event plus response equals outcome.
Yeah.
Basically means that, look, we can't control everything that happens to us in life, right?
Right.
But we can control how we respond.
Okay.
And it's that response that determines our reality, that shapes our reality.
So it's not about blaming ourselves
Yeah.
when things go wrong.
No, not at all. It's about recognizing that we have a choice in how we respond in any given situation. It's about shifting from feeling like a victim to becoming like the creator of your own experience.
I like that.
Yeah.
Do you have an example?
Yeah, I do. So Canfield, he talks about this guy, right?
Okay.
Who was always blaming everyone else for his problems.
Oh, yeah, I know the type.
Yeah, his boss, his family, the traffic, like everything was everyone else's fault.
Of course.
And then he had this realization, right, and decided to take ownership. Instead of complaining about things he couldn't control, he started asking, okay, what can I do differently?
I love that.
And the results were, I mean, they were incredible. He completely changed his career, his relationships, his entire outlook just from that one shift.
Wow. Yeah, that is a powerful example.
Okay.
Okay, so how can our listeners start applying this principle today? What's one area where they could, take a little bit more responsibility?
Well, I think a good place to start would be to think about a situation in your life right now where you tend to blame external factors.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it's your job, maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's even just your own habits. And just, for a moment, consider what would happen if you took full responsibility for your role in that situation.
Mhm.
Like what new possibilities might open up if you did that.
Right.
So that's a good starting point.
Yeah, it's about finding that agency, knowing that you have the power to make a change.
Exactly. And once you start owning your choices and actions, that's when you can start setting those clear goals.
Yeah, and Canfield's a big believer in that clarity of purpose,
Oh, huge.
right? Knowing your why,
Yeah.
that driving force behind everything you do.
Absolutely. He says it's absolutely essential for success.
So it's kind of like having that roadmap, right? If you don't know where you're going, you're just going to end up wandering around aimlessly.
Yeah, exactly. A clear vision acts like a compass. It guides your decisions and your actions.
Right.
He even illustrates this with a story about this woman who was feeling completely lost in her career, like just going through the motions.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until she really took the time to figure out what mattered to her, like what her core values were, that she discovered her path and she ended up building this really successful business.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it was a business that truly aligned with her values. So it's about finding that alignment.
Makes you think, what does your ideal life actually look like?
Right.
I think we all need
Yeah.
to take some time to really think about that, define that.
Absolutely. And speaking of defining what you want, this is where it gets really interesting. Canfield talks about the power of belief and how it can actually influence outcomes.
Wait, hold on. Are we talking manifesting here?
Yeah, we're going there.
I'm intrigued, but I'm also a little skeptical.
I hear you. It can sound a little woo-woo, I know.
Yeah.
But he dives deep into the role of affirmations and visualization.
Okay.
And he shares some pretty amazing stories. There's one about a woman who literally manifested her dream home
Oh,
just by visualizing it every day.
really?
She created a vision board, super detailed, and she spent time each day just imagining herself living in that house, feeling all the joy and gratitude as if it were already hers. And guess what? She ended up living in that exact house.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay, that's wild. How does that even work? Are we saying just thinking about something can make it happen?
Well, it's not quite that simple. He
Mhm.
emphasizes that you need to combine a crystal clear vision with a deep belief that it's possible.
Okay.
And when you do that, you start attracting opportunities, you start making choices that align with that vision. It's almost like your belief creates this magnetic pull, drawing those things into your reality.
So it's about aligning your energy with what you want to
Yeah.
attract.
Right.
So like if you're constantly doubting yourself, focusing on what you don't want,
Hmm.
you're actually pushing it away.
Exactly. And that's why affirmations and visualizations can be so powerful.
Oh, yeah.
They can really help you shift your mindset, align
Yeah.
your energy with your goals. You know what? Why don't you try this? Just like write down your goals as if they've already happened.
Okay.
Really feel the excitement, the gratitude, the satisfaction of achieving them. And like, can you sense a shift in energy just by doing that?
I think I actually can. Yeah. Okay. So we've got the responsibility, the clarity, the belief.
Mm-hmm.
But what about actually taking action?
Right.
Because even with all the good intentions, the best visualizations, nothing's going to happen if we just sit around waiting for things to fall into our laps.
You're absolutely right. And that's where Canfield's emphasis on action comes in.
Okay.
You got to turn those dreams into reality. And that's all about taking consistent action.
So does he have any strategies for, overcoming procrastination? Because let's be real, we all struggle with that.
We do, we do. He suggests breaking down big goals into smaller, more manageable steps.
Okay.
And then focusing on taking those steps consistently.
Yeah.
It's all about building momentum, creating a sense of progress.
So instead of getting overwhelmed by, the enormity of our goals, we just focus on taking one step at a time.
One step at a time, exactly. And to illustrate how effective this can be, he shares all these inspiring stories of entrepreneurs.
Oh.
They took calculated risks, they stepped outside their comfort zones, and I mean, they achieved some incredible things. Think about it, like every successful business, every invention, every movement, it all started with someone taking that first step.
That's so true. So that brings us to a challenge for you, dear listener. What's one goal, big or small, that you've been putting off?
Yeah, what is it?
What's one tiny step you could take today to move towards it? Write it down, put a reminder on your phone, schedule it in your calendar, whatever works for you. Just take that first step and see what happens. Remember, success isn't about like giant leaps.
Nope.
It's about those small, consistent efforts that add up over time.
And that's how those dreams become a reality.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about taking responsibility, setting those clear goals, believing in yourself, and actually taking action.
Yeah, those are big ones.
But we've really just scratched the surface
Well,
here.
absolutely. Canfield has a whole toolkit of success principles.
He does, yeah.
Yeah.
What else really stood out to you?
You know, what I find fascinating is that he doesn't just focus on those external strategies.
Right.
He also talks about mastering your inner game.
Okay, what does that even mean? Like mastering your inner game? Is that like becoming a Zen master or something?
Well, not exactly. It's more about becoming the master of your own mind, really.
Okay.
He talks about how self-doubt, right, it can be a huge roadblock to success. And he offers some really practical strategies for silencing that inner critic.
Ooh, silencing the inner critic. I like
Yeah.
that.
And building that unshakable confidence.
Okay, so I think we all have that inner critic, right?
Oh, yeah, we all do.
The one that's like, you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, not ready yet.
Yeah.
It can be so debilitating.
Oh, absolutely. But Canfield, he emphasizes that everyone, even the most successful people, they experience fear and doubt.
Really?
Yeah. It's all about learning to manage those feelings, not letting them, paralyze you.
Okay.
One of his key strategies is the power of positive self-talk.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's about consciously replacing those negative thoughts with empowering affirmations.
So instead of saying, I can't do this,
Mm.
you would say something like, I'm capable, I'm resourceful, I can figure this out.
Exactly. And the more you practice this, the more you start to believe it.
Right.
And then those positive beliefs start shaping your actions and ultimately your results.
Like a self-fulfilling prophecy almost.
Yeah. In a way, yeah.
Okay, so we're mastering our inner game, but we also can't do everything alone.
Yep, we can't.
Canfield talks about the importance of asking for help, seeking out opportunities.
He does. He actually has this great quote. He says, people who ask confidently get more than those who are hesitant and uncertain.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So he's a huge believer in the power of networking, reaching out to mentors, building relationships with people who can support you on your journey.
Yeah, I think I used to be so afraid to ask for help.
Really?
because I thought it made me look weak or incompetent.
Oh, I see.
But I've come to realize it's actually the opposite. It takes courage and humility to admit when you need support, and it really opens up so many doors.
I couldn't agree more. Canfield, he argues that asking for help is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of strength.
I like that.
Shows that you're willing to learn and grow, and it can often lead to these unexpected opportunities.
Yeah, because in today's world, like, things are changing so fast.
All the time. Yeah.
We need to be adaptable.
Absolutely, yeah. Canfield, he emphasizes embracing change, being willing to adapt.
Right.
He talks about the need to be open to new ideas, to step outside your comfort zone, to continuously learn and grow.
So it's not about resisting change, it's about seeing it as an opportunity.
For growth, for innovation, exactly.
Okay, so we're mastering our inner game, we're asking for help, and we're embracing change.
Yeah.
What else? What else does he have for us?
Well, he also talks about building those supportive networks.
Oh, yeah.
He even mentions these mastermind groups.
What are those?
It's where like-minded individuals come together to share ideas, to support each other, hold each other accountable.
It's like that saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
Exactly. Canfield argues that having that strong support system can make a huge difference in your journey to success.
Makes sense.
It's about surrounding yourself with people who inspire you, challenge you, believe in your potential.
Right. And I think it's important to remember that success isn't just about achieving those, like, external goals, right?
Right.
It's also about cultivating that inner fulfillment and happiness.
Absolutely.
And Canfield talks about the power of gratitude.
Oh, he does. He even says gratitude is the single most important ingredient to living a successful and fulfilled life.
Wow.
Yeah. He believes that focusing on what you're grateful for can shift your perspective to a more positive and abundant mindset.
So it's about appreciating the good things in your life, even when things are tough.
Even when things are tough. Because
Yeah.
there's always something to be grateful for.
Always.
Always. And he suggests keeping a gratitude journal.
Oh, yeah.
Or just taking a few moments each day to reflect on the things that you're thankful for. It's a simple practice, but it can have a profound impact on your well-being.
I love how he weaves in these, like, really powerful quotes throughout the book.
Oh, he does.
Like, they really pack a punch. One that stood out to me was, everything you want is on the other side of fear.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's such a simple but profound reminder that often what's holding us back is our own fear.
Yeah. Fear of failure or the unknown.
Right, exactly. And another one that really resonated with me was, success is the result of small daily disciplines compounded over time.
Oh, that's a classic.
It's so powerful. It reminds us that consistency is key.
Absolutely. It's those small actions we take every day. They seem insignificant, but they add up to big results.
Yeah, it's about building those positive habits and routines that support our goals.
Exactly.
Wow, we've really gone deep on Canfield's principles here.
I have.
I mean, from taking responsibility to believing in yourself to building a support system, it really is like a roadmap for success.
It is, but, it's not a one-size-fits-all roadmap. And I think that's what's so powerful about Canfield's approach. He really encourages you to define what success actually means for you.
So it's not necessarily about, like, hitting those, traditional milestones, like, the big house, the fancy car, whatever.
Right? It's not just about status or wealth. It's about creating a life that feels fulfilling, a life that aligns with your values.
So that kind of raises a question for our listeners, doesn't it?
It does.
If success isn't, one size fits all, what does it actually look like for you?
Yeah.
Is it about, financial freedom? Is it about creative expression? Is it about making a difference in the world?
Maybe it's all of those things.
Right.
It's a question worth thinking about, because once you have that clear vision of what success means to you, that's when you can start making choices that support that vision.
Yeah. And it's okay for that definition to, like, evolve, right? As you grow, as you
Well,
learn.
absolutely. What might have felt like success 5 years ago might not feel the same way today.
Right. And that's okay. It's all part of the journey. What's interesting is that Canfield's principles, they aren't just about achieving those, like, external markers of success. It's also about cultivating that inner peace,
Yeah. Happiness, fulfillment.
Yeah.
So it's really about becoming the best version of yourself, both internally and externally.
So as we kind of wrap up our deep dive into the success principles, what's one key takeaway you want our listeners to walk away with?
I think the biggest takeaway is that you have the power to create the life you want. It's not going to be easy, there will be challenges, but by embracing those Canfield principles, taking responsibility, setting goals, believing in yourself, taking action, and nurturing your inner world, you can really achieve amazing things.
I love that. Well, it's been a joy diving into these principles with you. And for everyone listening, remember, success is a journey, not a destination.
That's right.
Embrace the process, trust yourself, never stop learning, and we'll see you on the next deep dive.